Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Dominaria United draft here on the channel. I'm going to go pick by pick, play by play, and talk through everything so you can know what to do in your next draft. Let's check out our rare King Darian, don't tell me, 48th, I believe, because XL is 40, V3, and then 3 lines is 8. So King Darian the 48th. He's a 2/3. Other creatures get +1/+1, and then you can put a counter on him and create a soldier. Quite powerful. It is a gold card, though, which means it would require splashing or playing straight up green-white. Not something I'm opposed to, but also definitely something to keep in mind. There is also a Wingmantle Chaplain, which is a very powerful card that I have not gotten to play yet, so I kind of want to try this card. And then, other than that, in common, there is Lightning Strike and Citizen's Arrest. Those are good commons. This is a removal spell in red, a removal spell in white. So I think it's between King Darian and Wingmantle Chaplain, just for power level considerations. King Darian and Wingmantle Chaplain are both a little bit unflexible because this only goes into a Walls deck and this only goes into a green-white deck. But I kind of want to try out the Walls deck, so we're going to start with Wingmantle Chaplain. Okie doke. And then we immediately, and I mean immediately, see another Walls payoff. This also rewards you for having a lot of Walls creatures with Defender. So let's just read Wingmantle Chaplain in case you've never seen it. It is a 4-mana 0/3 Defender. Yikes. But when it enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 bird creature token with flying for each creature with Defender you control. That includes itself. Whenever another creature with Defender enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 white bird creature token with flying. So we could go for kind of like a tokens theme or just keep going with this Defender's idea. There is Elas Ilkor, which rewards you when other creatures enter the battlefield under your control. I think I'm going to take the Blight pile, though, because it's another Defender. Each opponent loses X life, where X is the number of creatures with Defender you control. The rare is missing, so we don't get a huge signal. Could also take Argivian Cavalier, which is another great white card to go with the Wingmantle Chaplain, also a kind of go-wide card. But I think if we're going to start with the Wingmantle Chaplain, we want as many Defenders as possible. We'll at least take a few early picks to see what we can do. There is Shield Wall Sentinel in this pack, which is a very good card for this deck. It is a 4-drop, so it's a bit expensive. It's only a 1/3, but it's a Defender, and you may search your library for a creature card with Defender and put it into your hand, so you can get Wingmantle Chaplain more consistently. I don't think I'm going to take it here, though. I think I'm going to take Gibbering Barricade, because I think I might be able to wheel Shield Wall Sentinel, and Gibbering Barricade is another wall that fits my curve nicely. It's a 3-drop instead of a 4-drop. And it can fit nicely with this kind of token theme. It's another black card. And so I think I'm going to take that over the Shield Wall Sentinel. I should be able to get this back later, because people that don't have Wingmantle Chaplains, I don't think really want those. Unless they like speculate them on case. There's also Sangir Connoisseur, which is a good one. The rare, in case you're wondering, is just not very good, because the fact that your opponent gets to draw cards first is really bad. So yeah, I'm going to take the Gibbering Barricade. And now I think I'm going to take the land. So the reason for this is I'm already playing I'm playing white-black so far, but I only have one white card, which is definitely something that I could splash into, say, a blue-black deck or a green-black deck. And as long as I have a couple lands that can maybe splash and maybe some fixing in other ways, I can splash as Wingmantle Chaplain and play multicolor walls, because there's some walls in other colors that I might be interested in. There's Baird, Argivian Recruiter, another Gibbering Barricade. And there's like a Worm, this guy, War Brute. Take up the Shield. Captain's Call for the token theme. Take up the Shield to protect like a key card. But Wingmantle Chaplain can also just have a great ETB. But we're going to take the land. Okay. Interesting stuff. So in this pack, there is Threats Undetected, which isn't very good because a lot of my cards are going to have the same power. And also, you don't want to give your opponent the choice. So, like, I want to get Wingmantle Chaplain, and they're just going to give me something else. There's Shieldred's Restoration, which can return my Wingmantle Chaplain, but I don't think this card's very good. It's just kind of reanimation. It's not generally that good in limited. Shadow Prophecy is pretty nice if you have some multicolor stuff going on, which we might. And then there's Splatter Goblin as a 2-drop. I kind of want to take Shadow Prophecy, build a defensive deck, get my synergies rolling. I think it's between that, Splatter Goblin, and Automatic Librarian, but I'm down to try the Shadow Prophecy. Stick to black, which is the color that I know I'm playing at the moment. Okay, and then green we see Bite Down, which is quite a nice card this late in the pack. There's also Destroy Evil in white as a removal spell. There's Crystal Grotto, there's Deathbloom Gardener. Could just keep taking black cards with the Splatter Goblin. Let's just check my curve real quick. We do have one 2-drop already, but having some good 2-drops can be nice. And we have the synergy with Gibbering Barricade where you can sacrifice the Splatter Goblin. And so I think that's... I am tempted by Bite Down, because I think it's just better than Splatter Goblin. I'm gonna take the Bite Down. I'm gonna take Splatter Goblin. I realized late in the game there, one of the reasons I made the last second pick was I was thinking about the composition of my deck, and a lot of my cards are going to be like 0/3s or 1/4s or things like that. And so I think that makes Splatter Goblin more reasonable because fight spells are good when you have high-powered creatures like 3/2s, and not as good when you have things like 0/3s or 1/1s. I don't think I want the Vanquisher's Axe. I'm going to be winning with different win conditions. There's a Writhing Necromass. An Iconoclast. I'm just going to take the Iconoclast. 2-mana 3/2 is just really good. And so if green is open, I would like to have that in my deck. Even if I can't use the kicker part. Wow, late Argivian Cavalier. Runeville Horde Master, not surprised to see that. There is an Academy wall, but currently I have no reason to be blue. And I also don't have that many instants and sorceries. So just getting a Cavalier is nice. Kind of goes with the go wide theme. There's also Sunbathing Rootwalla. So if I wanted to play like a 3-color deck, this could be a nice 2-drop for my green-black base, but seeing a late white card means I could just play white-black, potentially. This card's pretty impressive. This card's much better on offense. You don't really love combat tricks in your defender's deck, I will say. I'll just take the white card. Okay, so we get the Cavalier back. That's crazy. So I'm glad we took the Vanguard. Looks like we might have a go wide theme. There's also Protect the Negotiator still. But we're gonna looks like we're a white-black base. And we do not wheel the 1/3 wall. Not the end of the world. There's Maria's Outrider, which is pretty good if you're splashing stuff. Good taking that. I'll just take up the shields, maybe. Splatter Goblin came back. How is my 2-drop situation looking? Sure. I don't mind a Librarian at all. And that's a pretty late one, but looks like my deck is in a good spot here. We have 1 wall, 2 walls, /wall payoffs. No, 3 walls, because we have the Gibbering Vanguard as well. The Vanguard, the Barricade, also plays well with my tokens that I'm making. There's a Clockwork Drawbridge here so far. Defiler of Faith. Ooh, whenever I cast a white permanent, create a 1/1 white soldier creature token. And it's a 5/5 vigilance, and I have a lot of white permanents, and I already have kind of creatures to help me go wide. And a go wide payoff, because it can give +1/+1. And so that could be helpful. What else am I interested in this pack? If I wield Clockwork Drawbridge, that would be good. Maybe someone else is going for the walls deck. Elduvian Atrocity. But yeah, white and black both seemed reasonably open. Black less so than white, but we did get that late Splatter Goblin. Haughty Djinn. So I know I'm playing white. I've got the Defiler, the Wingmantle, I've got Vanguard, 2 Cavaliers that I got late. There's also Tolarian Geyser. This is a weird pack. Haughty Djinn is not great in my deck. Checking my instants and sorceries, kind of have 4 instants, no sorceries. And I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to play all these cards. I have a couple take up the shield. This is double blue. There's Artillery Blast. There's this guy, which will probably wheel based on the last pack. There's Urg, Spawn of Turg, but I'm not really loving that idea. And I could just take Sacred Peaks if I wanted to splash red. Oh, this is just really rough. Salvage Mana Worker. I don't even know what I'm supposed to do there. Ooh, there's a Shield Wall Sentinel. To also Extinguish the Light. And there's Bortuk Bone Rattle. I took the Sacred Peaks because I might want to do a domain idea at some point here. And so that was kind of like a freebie pick almost. There is Extinguish the Light. But given that the last shield wall didn't come back, I don't think this one is going to either. And I do want to kind of try this walls thing because I do have some good payoffs. So I think I'm going to take this over the Extinguished Light and over the Bortuk. And we'll just see how that works out. Tatyova. There's another Gibbering Barricade. There is also Floriferous Vine Wall, but it looks like I'm going to be white-black base and then maybe splashing other colors. So I don't know if I want early cards in other colors. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but if you're playing a walls deck where you care about having defenders in play, it's nice. But I think Gibbering Barricade fits the bill pretty nicely as well. Also a defender. So now there is a green-black land. There is a bite spell that I don't need. Essence Scatter, Pilfer, blue-red. I think we'll take the black-green land. Maybe we'll see something we want. I don't think we're going to play that guy right now. It does make our Shadow Prophecy better to have more types, but only if we're going to use them. And currently, I think we're in good shape. We have a Shield Wall to get our Wing Mantle. We have 2 Gibbering Barricades, which also have other synergies in our deck, and a Blight Pile. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 defenders, and we're only partway through pack 2. So there's a Phyrexian Warhorse, which does fit the go wide theme, the tokens idea. Garna's kind of hard to use because it's double red. Tablet's not great because it's just like weird fixing. There's another defender, but we aren't really blue. And then there's Tangled Islet. And another Shadow Prophecy. I'll take the Warhorse. I do kind of have a nice little go wide strategy going. I can just keep taking Gibbering Barricades. They're just reasonable cards, I think. Especially because I have all these tokens running around. So yeah, we'll take this. I'm really liking these land base I'm getting. There's another Floriferous Vine Wall. I don't think I'm... like, one of the things you want to do is kind of choose base colors, and I'm a black-white deck. All my early drops are black and white. And so if I was going to splash a card, it would be like a late-game green card or something. Like, I'd be more likely to splash the Worm than the Vine Wall. I am liking these like lands I'm getting because they're half on color. So like if I'm playing black-white, I have all these are like, okay, this is a white-red land. This is a white-black land that helps me on color. This is like a black-red. So I've got some good potential splashing if I get a card that's good enough. Clockwork Drawbridge seems perfect. I'm glad that wheeled. I think Balduvian Atrocity is pretty good too. Especially because I can bring back an Argivian Cavalier and get to keep the token. But I'm going to take the Drawbridge. I have plenty of walls payoffs. And now I can take a Mana Worker in case I want to go for a splashy build. Or have like some sort of splash that just helps with that. Tangled Islet is double off color. Meteorite, Relic of Legends. I'll take the land. You never know. I don't think I'm going to want to play a Relic of Legends. I don't have any legendary creatures. Okay, Mesa Cavalier as a flyer or Writhing Necromass. I have 15 creatures right now. So we're going to try the Writhing Necromass. I haven't gotten to play it yet. I'm just looking at my 3-drop slot, and I already have 6 3-drops. Ooh, interesting. Okay, pack 3. What are we looking for this pack? More defenders. We have a decent number so far. How do I count? I have to count them manually, I guess. But we have a decent number so far. There is Alas Ilkor, which plays really well with our token theme. And then there's also Blight Pile, which I think I'm going to take just to go with this defender's theme. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this will be our 8th defender. So that's just really powerful. I do really want to try this card out. It seems really sweet in my deck, especially because I have so many tokens running around. And I'll gain a lot of life. The 2/2 Death Touch as well, which is just great. But Blight Pile is the perfect fit for our deck. Okay. Ooh, another tough pick. There's a Walking Bulwark. which is another cheap defender. There's a Evolved Sleeper, which you spend over the course of the game 1, 2, 4, 7 mana, and it ends up being a 4/4. I think I'm just going to keep taking these walls. I think the defenders get better the more of them you have. Evolved Sleeper's a good card, though. And then Phyrexian Ranger and Argivian Cavalier are also good. But maybe we'll wheel something we like out of this pack too. But we're just going to keep taking the defender cards because they're very cool synergies. Now we have 9 defenders, I think. We'll take Citizen's Arrest for removal. Not really interested in the bird. But yeah, I'm just imagining like playing the Wingmantle Chaplain getting like 5 birds now. Okay. What are we working with in this pack? Shalai's Acolyte. 5 mana, 3/4 flyer. This guy's pretty good, but he's not my colors. Charismatic Vanguard. We don't really need that guy. We don't really need this guy. I guess we'll just take this guy on a chance that we need him. But currently, this is our deck right now. I think we can just afford to have a 5 mana, 3/4 flyer instead of another 3-drop. Okay, so Gibbering Barricade or Caves of Koilos. So I have 1 wall, 2 wall, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this will be my 10th wall if I can take the Gibbering Barricade. Or I can make my mana better. I'm going to make my mana better. That might be controversial, but I already have so many Gibbering Barricades. The second one of this we've seen in this pack. And I have pretty good cards, I think. Yeah. Getting an extra land that helps my mana is just going to be useful. Benelish Faithbonder is pretty good if I am, like, enlisting one of my walls. There's another Shadow Prophecy, which isn't very good in my deck if I don't play the random off-color land. So I'll just take the Benelish Faithbonder. Interesting. There's a Heroic Charge now. Joda's Codex is funny because I have all these off-color lands, but I'm not going to play it just for that. Heroic Charge could be interesting. It doesn't fit well with my walls. I think I'll just take Artillery Blast isn't the best either. I could see wanting it, though. There's another Gibbering Barricade. There's also Eerie Soul Tender. Eerie Soul Tender buying back my Defender payoff seems nice. Ooh, a Warhorse, and also a Faithbonder. Dragon Whelp. Aggressive Sabotage. Okay. We'll have to see if we want to play these off-color lands. We don't want to play this Mana Worker. We have enough 2-drops as it is, which is nice. Not sure we really want to take up the shield. I'm not sure if I was supposed to take the +2/+1 to all guys card. I think I'm winning a different way than that. Because I think I can just use my tokens as sacrifice fodder. Okay, so currently this is the deck to some degree. Don't really want the Shalai's Acolyte. These are kind of 5-drops, so that's why. Shadow Prophecy is kind of bad right now. Take up the shield doesn't do what I want it to. So this is the deck right now. I'm pretty happy with how it ended up. I think 3 Gibbering Barricades is a lot. Soul Tender can be nice. This is a removal spell. This is kind of removal. We don't have the most removal in the world. There's also Charismatic Vanguard, which could be a little bit annoying to use. So this could just be the deck. Do we want to play any of the domain cards? I mean, this is a domain card, and there's also the Shadow Prophecy is kind of a domain card. Let's see, is there any other white or black card that we'd want? We could just play this Take Up the Shield. and then call it a day. I think that's what we'll do. I don't think we really want to play like a random divination effect. We'll just get our value from using gibbering barricades. And yeah, this should be the deck. I'm excited to see how it does. Let's see if we regret taking anything that wasn't a defender. We'll see how this card does. But I'm excited, and I will see you folks in the games. Before I get to the games, I want to give a huge shout out to all of the patrons who support my channel at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas, and special thanks to those at the credits level. All patrons gain access to my Dominaria United card-by-card tier list and other exclusive rewards, and I also want to note that Patreon can be cancelled at any time if your circumstances change, so there's no long-term commitment and it is completely transparent. I hope you're enjoying the video so far, and without further ado, let's get to the games. Hello, everybody, and welcome to round 1. Keeping this hand. Got all of our colors. We have 2-drop, 3-drop, 4-drop, 5-drop. And this can get us our Wingmantle Chaplain, which is pretty dang good. Oh, I love that animation. I have the trusty fox, which they finally fixed so that I can change its colors again, which makes me so happy. Okay, so they're playing white deck, and we know that they are not the sort of player that bothers manually changing their basics. I can understand that, but it does give us key insight into their mind. Okay, perfect. Drawing a land is good. We will attack. Sure. Play the Cavalier. Just better than playing the Vanguard, because this can attack as a 3-2 as well, but then I'll have the 1-1 still. And I like the Phyrexian Warhorses in this deck because it gives me a use for all the random 1-1s I generate over the course of the game without having to have like a massive go-wide pump spell that is kind of anti-synergistic, so this is kind of a nice top-end common for my deck. This card's also nice. I'll do this. I'm fine trading these off. Get me a good old Wingmantle Chaplain. Maybe I should have taken the first one of these I saw. I think I took a good card over it, though, and then I tried to wheel this. I'm just going to try to get ETB value from this. Just make 4 birds. Jeez Louise, that's actually crazy. And then any other guy I play gets a bird too. Holy heck. I'm just going to play this over the kicked Warhorse right now. Jeez, that is nutso. Oh my gosh. I'm not going to block. Got plenty of time. I could have blocked with the barricade in this guy. But I don't really want to. Kind of just want to get this Vanguard down. I'm going to do that, and then I'll use my Clockwork Drawbridge to tap this guy. And hold up my Gibbering Barricade. I guess I don't really need to worry about winning the game, because if I get either Wingmantle Chaplain or Blight Pile, then I can just start, like, draining. Like, if I had a Blight Pile, I'd be dinging my opponent for 5 damage a turn. Yeah, they concede. Oh my gosh, that was disgusting. Well, that was crazy good. I'll see you folks next game. Welcome to another round. We have won the die roll. We will keep this. Soul Tender's nice because it can maybe let me buy back a key card that dies. It's like a nice 2-for-1. Gives me a little bit of diversity in my play patterns. Let's say hello to our opponent because they said hello to us. Splatter Goblin! Attack! Looks like their head is encased in jelly. Okay, so green, white, and red, so maybe some shenanigans. Oh, this could be good for me, because if I sacrifice this, I can kill this. Oh, they just trade. That's also good for me. 1, 2, 3. Nice. I did not mill anything too key. And now I'll just have this guy for the late game. Even getting this thing back could be useful. Okay, so they're playing a lot of colors. That card's great. Green, white. Oh, they're playing all the colors. Well. And they have all the colors. That's not great for me, but we will do our best. I think we always get Wingmantle Chaplain. And we even have Eerie Soul Tender to get it back, which is perfect for us. Okay, Plains me. No, that was not a Plains. I might just chump block this thing. I really don't want them to look at their top 5 and draw a card. And once I draw Plains, I can Citizen's Arrest that guy, which will be huge for me. Sure. Okay, I'm 1 Plains away from this thing being a really good line. For now, I'm just going to kick this. And now, I'm just waiting on a Plains. I have slightly more Plains than Swamps in my deck for this exact reason. We have milled one, though. This card is really scary if it gets rolling, so I just can't let that happen if I want to win. They have 4 cards, I have 2. But this one's key. The Citizen's Arrest is all I really need. Okay. You betray me. That's just brutal. That is tough. Drawing a swamp there. Sometimes you just have no control over it, though. My opponent had 4 colors by turn 3. I could have sacrificed it to this guy. Sure. You're kidding me. That's such a joke. That's so funny. They don't have removal, or they would have used it last turn to hit me and drawn a card. So I can quad block this guy. I'm going to start using Blight Pile. If I could just have drawn an extra Plains this game, this would have been so much easier. I would have been winning by a lot. Unless, of course, they had a combat trick, in which case they didn't have a good opportunity to use it. That's huge for me. Oh my gosh. Absolutely massive. There's the planes. Okay, so they just made 5 3/3s. Gonna get rid of their flyer. I actually have a decent plan, because the Warhorse can block one of these things each turn, and I can chump another one and then sack it to the Warhorse. So, not the worst. And every defender I draw also helps me do that. This can only be activated as a sorcerer, I believe. So it can only be used aggressively. Attacking a couple birds to get this thing off the field would be pretty good for me, I think. Resolves. Get him, Blight Pile. Okay. Sure. If only they hadn't had that kill spell, I would have got an extra bird. Clockwork Drawbridge is good against this worm, though. Three, 6, 9, 14. So I'm going to block there, sack this thing to there. Does it zap him for 1, 2, 3, 4? This is 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yep. I was not going to be able to withstand them dealing 5 to me, I don't think. That's just tough. I needed to have an extra 1/1 so I could chump block an extra guy. I think you needed to keep my Blight Pile around. Let's just see. If they just play a normal creature, say, then on my turn, they're at 13. I untap, drawbridge something, Blight Pile. Yeah, I can't win that game. The real difference maker was I had to get rid of three tokens because I couldn't draw a second planes. If I had drawn a second planes to deal with the Nile, I think I would have won fairly easily because I could have been attacking them with my 1/1 flyers instead of jump blocking every turn. So it was really a mana game, which isn't very clear based on the end, because when you finish a game, you see all the lands you have in play, and so you forget sometimes, oh, right, I didn't have double white until like halfway through the game, which really hosed me. So that's just how it goes sometimes. Welcome to another round. We're going to keep this. I'm also thinking back to the last game. My opponent played a card that made 5 3/3s for 1 card, so that rare was pretty good. And their mana was smooth, so one of the ways you beat a 5-color deck is they just have to mulligan because they have inconsistent mana, but they just had perfect mana in their opening hand. And so sometimes if you're playing best of 1 like this, sometimes you'll be the guy that happens to face their perfect start, and sometimes you'll be the guy that faces their terrible start and gets a free win. This hand I need a land, but you know, you can get there. And I think this deck is good. I mean, just looking at the game, we were competitive against the deck when we had mana issues, and they had a pretty great start, and they also had, like, an amazing rare. Blight Pile is pretty good for enlisting with Faith Bonder. I'm going to play the Faith Bonder, get some chip damage in. And then I'll play the Blight Pile to make this hit a little harder. That's a pretty nice land to draw. I guess it's free to attack. Another land is so huge here. Still just going to get the Chaplain. Making 3/1/1s is good even against a Snare Spinner. And Faith Bonder is just hitting them like a truck. Go, Faith Bonder, go. Okay, so they're also playing blue, white, green, red. So that's 4 colors so far. Go, 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 Faith Bonder. Oh, that doesn't really work. Go, Faith Bonder, go, go. Go, Faith Bonder, go, go. Banalish Faith Bonder. Easily playing Wingmantle Chaplain here. Wow. They don't even kill my guy. That's crazy. They have an Essence Scatter? Okay, yeah. That would have been bad if they had Essence Scatter. No! No! I only get 2 1/1s. Still good. They killed my guy, and I still got 2 1/1s out of the deal. Not bad, as they say. And my Necromass is getting closer. Ah, the Rising Necromass. I mean, if I trade my Benelish Faith Bonder for their 4-drop, that's pretty crazy. I mean, Faith Bonder has been excellent for me. And I get to play the Necromass? Let's go! It's huge. Yeah. Really just... Honestly, Faith Bonder has been very good for me. Like, I have consistently traded it for my opponent's 4-drops. Like, every time I've had it, it's been like, okay, I'll chip in for like 3 damage a turn. Then eventually just hits them for 4, and they have to trade their big creature for it. And you're like, wow, my 2-mana 1/3 just traded with their Magnigoth Sentry. There's a lot of G's in this card. I'm just like, Magnigoth. There we go. But yeah, good win for our deck, and I'll see you next round. Welcome to another game. We are 2-1, and we have a good hand. We got the double Blight Pile start. Ooh, nice, the dragon flying around to start. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm convinced. Shield Wall Sentinel is actually insane when you have the card that I have. Wingmantle Chaplain. I should have taken the first one, probably. I mean, it just felt broken every time I got it. I think I was early enough in the draft where I wasn't sure if I was going to end up being able to play it, but I forget what I even took over it, but this card has been insane every time I've drawn it. Yeah, we cannot block. Hmm. So they're gonna put counter on this. It's gonna be a 3/3 first strike. I'm just gonna be mana efficient and get rid of it now. There was some argument to trying to use take up the shield, but a 3/3 first strike is worth killing, I think. And I can deal with their flyer with my shield wall sentinel getting my wingmantle chaplain. Oh, man. I've realized that this is unrelated to Magic, but tape isn't as sticky as it used to be. Used to be, you could... Okay, I'm going to play Blight Pile, and then I'm going to hold up activation for dealing 3 to them, and also take up the shield. Sure. Because gaining some life here is pretty nice. I'm just gonna play the Chaplain. Make 4 birds. The extra power will make the Argivian Cavalier nice. I think I'm just going to activate both Blight Piles here. That's so rough. Yeah, this thing didn't have lifelink, so they're going to go up to 16. Oh, and then I killed them. So yeah. Just activating Blight Pile is enough. If they don't kill a defender of mine. So they're going to go to 8. I can't quite kill them. Gosh darn it. I'm 1 off. Oh no. We got him, I think. Yes! I was deciding whether or not to activate the Vanguard to try to kill them with Blight Pile activation there at the end, and I had decided to use Blight Pile because that way I could deploy an Argivian Cavalier to give me an extra blocker for this thing. So yeah. Crazy game though, and I'll see you folks next one. Welcome to another round. The first time we have drawn Defiler of Faith. That's exciting. I'm not going to cast the Clockwork Drawbridge. It doesn't do anything for me right now, and also it can get me an extra 1/1 if I wait. And every 1/1 matters in Limited, especially when you have Barricade to sacrifice 1/1s. Okay, 3 colors so far. The Bulwark. Sure. So they are a Defender's deck, eh? I will play the Faith Bonder, though, because that thing can actually attack. The Clockwork Drawbridge, I just get to pay 2 life. And get it into play. Get an extra 1/1. And then draw extra cards from the Barricade. So just countered my Light Pile, sure. I'm not a coward. I'll go for it. I'm in pretty good shape. The Drawbridge is actually okay on this board. Gibbering Barricade can sack the 1/1. Faith Bonder's attacking decently well. And I can just Drawbridge tap their guy. Or sack something if they go for a removal spell. Sure. Sure. That's about the best possible case scenario for me. I can sack my Splatter Goblin to kill that thing. They don't have a good creature to get back anyway. White Pile number 2 is a good draw. They have counter magic up, unfortunately, but you can't play scared of counter magic when they could just have a different spell. Funny. Dang it, Urtai Scorn. Very scornful of the walls. They don't respect them. Sure. Sure. Wingmantle Chaplain? No, just another one of those. Interesting. Okay. So I'm going to Citizen's Arrest this thing. Nice. I think I'm gonna lose now. They've just answered my two main... Like, if I had a Blight Pile in play, I'd be winning by a lot, but... Just makes things a lot trickier. Sure. Of course, that has Ward 2 and not just Ward 1. That's a good draw. And they didn't choose to activate to play their Blight Pile when they had the mana. So maybe they have to take up the shield or something. Okay, we denied them a card. What could they have for 2 mana? Okay, Barricade, sure. I can activate the Eerie Soul Tender, get back my Blight Pile. What could they have for this mana? They could have a take up the shield of their own. Really? That's what they went for. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Perfect. I wanted them to sacrifice it so that their Blight Pile does less. Oh, it's so tough. I think I'm gonna lose. I just didn't get my Blight Pile in play soon enough. Now they're gonna just sacrifice their Tolarian Terror to Barricade, probably. Prevent some life gain from me. That's brutal. That's also brutal. Yep. And we're dead. Gosh. I thought my deck was really good, but then I just got faced against a more annoying version that just drew the counter spells. I honestly think that the only difference in this game was that they had those two Airtight Scorns. If I had gotten a Blight Pile into play earlier in the game, I had like 4 walls, so I would have been totally fine. And then I would have been much more suited to killing them. But yeah, that's how it goes. See you next round. Welcome to another round. We are 3-2, hoping to get some more wins. Got a reasonable hand. That last one was just a tough loss. Those counter spells were certainly good. Crazy land. Play my highest powered creature. Even if I don't attack with it, I can use it to buff up the Faith Bonder. All the barricades. On the barricades of freedom. Not sure what their game is. Do they not have anything to do for 3 mana? In all their colors? Interesting. If they give all my guys -2/-2, I guess well played, but... Aha. And then next turn I can... Sure. That's fair. That's fair. List. This is where having a walls theme kind of doesn't go the way you'd exactly want, though I guess I can still just attack with these things and I can enlist this guy, so all's well that ends well. No! Ah, the Toxic Abomination. That's funny. Get owned. So I'll enlist this so I attack with 2 3-powered creatures. Enlist, enlist. And if they make a trade, I still can't play that thing, unfortunately. I'm just gonna play this thing. It's gotta be good. No, not the Nile. They have white, blue, black. They don't have red or green though, so let's go. I don't know if I was supposed to play the barricade there so that I could then use Blight Pile a couple times. They're not going to draw a card, they're just going to stack their deck. Shouldn't be good enough to beat me here. 1 top, 3 bottom, okay. They didn't know the card, maybe? Maybe they thought they drew it. No! Oh, that's brutal. That's not good. That's not good. That's not good. They stack their deck and then they draw a card. Oh no. If they play their blocker, they take 2, so they're back down to 5. Let's just assume I attack with everything. And I enlist my wall here. And I'll block that one. Then I'll block that one, block that guy. Take 1. Okay, I'm just gonna activate Blight Pile. That should be good enough. Oh, you have to put only one on top. Okay. Gosh darn it. Well, I guess I saved my Necromass and made it a little cheaper on myself. I'm going to play the Warhorse because it's more mana efficient than the Necromass, and it's also going to be a lethal attacker. This is so brutal. They're just stacking their deck every turn. Oh my gosh, but I have them so low. Oh, pain. I'm just waiting for them to drop their bomb rare that they've dug 20 cards to find. Now enlisting matters, because now they can only block one guy. I think I got him. I have to have him. There's no way. What could they have? I guess they'd have to have a sweeper. Oh my gosh, if they had a sweeper, that would be so brutal for me. Also, the fact that they have 4 domain instead of 5 has been a lifesaver. I think I would have lost if they had had the full domain to draw the card every time. Gosh, extinguish the light. Yes! Woo! Got the win. Epic stuff. See you folks next round. Welcome to another round. We are currently 4-2, hoping to get a little bit more onto this run. We're keeping this hand. We got Blight Pile, a couple of barricades. All we need is another land. Red-white maybe, or a multicolor deck. So currently 3 colors. Okay. Rod of Firebrand. I'm going to play Blight Pile. It can block the Rada. I kind of want to get Take Up the Shield going. They don't attack. Well, that's very good news for me. Less good news is not drawing another land, but I'm going to play the Faith Bonder here, because Faith Bonder can then start attacking. And they have a couple 1/1s, so I wonder why they wouldn't want to attack with this. They have 3 basic land types, so now they can activate this. +2/+2. That is problematic. They're attacking with everything. They can give this thing +2/+2. But they're also attacking with their 1/1s, which implies that they have some sort of trick that can give +X/+X. So if they have +3/+0 in first strike, I'm just not going to block. I assume they have +3/+0 in first strike, which does get blown out by Take Up the Shield. And I'm going to assume that they don't have a removal spell, and I'm going to hold up Take Up the Shield here. It's a risky line, but I do have Blight Pile activation, so they might be less suspicious, but I don't think I can beat Rada's Firebrand if I don't get a nice block in on it. So this is a fine block here. I assume they have +3/+0 in first strike. They use nothing. Well, I held up my mana. I'm going to do it. If they have Lightning Strike, they have Lightning Strike. I hope they don't have it, but they could. I'm really far behind this game because I missed a land drop. Yes, that's huge. That's huge for me. I needed that to go my way. Okay. Sure. I'm worried about them having +2/+1 for their whole team, but if they do have it, then I'll have to deal with it. Yep, okay. Now I need to draw a land and then hope for the best. Yep, pretty much dead now. I need to draw, I think Wingmantle Chaplain is my best out. Yep, now Wingmantle Chaplain is my only out. There wasn't anything I could have really done this game. I missed my 3rd land drop, and then it just took me too long to recover. Unfortunately, not quite good enough, so we will scoop it up. 4-3, not a bad record. It's the way it goes sometimes. I think my deck was really good, but unfortunately in this matchup, I was a little bit too slow. I think I was on the draw as well. Kept the 2-lander on the draw, didn't develop the way I wanted. I kind of had to take some risks. The Warhost's Frenzy was really bad for me. There was a line where I try to take up the shield for longer, and I just play a barricade and then block, and then they use their Warhost's Frenzy. and then I can maybe stop their Destroy Evil at some point. But then if I played the Barricade, they would have just destroyed Evil on that, and then I'm right back to square one. So yeah, not much I really could have done there. Let's do a little bit of a post-mortem on our deck before I end the video. If you did enjoy the video, let me know. Hit the thumbs up button, comment, all that stuff. But overall, this deck felt excellent. Wingmantle Chaplain was superb. Shield Wall Sentinel was also great for finding it. And then I think Blight Pile performed quite well as another way to push through damage without having to affect the board. I didn't really get to activate the Bulwark. I think it's a little bit of a weaker payoff probably, but I also didn't have board states where it was going to be as good. And then I felt like the token theme was pretty good as well. The Cavaliers were nice. Vanguard did well with like going wide and with the Chaplain tokens especially. Warhorse being able to sacrifice all the tokens was a nice little addition to this black-white deck. And the Barricades combined with like Goblins and things like that, pretty nice as well. Faith Bonder overperformed as it often does for me. Casting this for a couple mana was a reality, and the Defiler Faith, pretty nice card. Make sure you save your sequencing. Like when we played the Clockwork Bridge and got the extra 1/1, that was pretty good that game. Overall, pretty great deck. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and to the post-op, in the comment section down below, leave hashtag Walls of Faith, because we had Defiler of Faith and we had a bunch of walls. So hashtag Walls of Faith to let me know you made it all the way to the end of the video. That's going to do it for this one, though. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll talk to you next time.